Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, this is a very quick update video, just a short one, because I wanted to just say a couple of thank yous to a couple of different people. First of all, to ICM. We've got some more of their glorious latest products to show you coming very soon. But I just wanted to shoot this very brief video just to give you an update for those of you that saw the rather impressive the Cossack 2, the MRAP vehicle, Ukrainian MRAP vehicle. You may recall in this video, and here it is, you may recall in the video that we had, it was a really nice kit, but there was a little bit of an issue when we came to the clear parts. Hasn't been that great, but that was the older ones in fairness. This is brand new, so okay. Well, actually, I've got a couple of flaws in my on the side windows. There's a flaw in that one. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe I'll have to make it out. Oops. Trouble to zoom. There you can see it's got the pistol ports, rifle port. That one, can you see the fault? It's got a little bit of something's got in the mould. I think it's a little bit of distortion, perhaps. Okay, so I duly reported this to ICM, and without any hesitation whatsoever, they sort of said, "Oh yes, must be faulty, no problem at all. We are going to get you a replacement," which they duly done very swiftly indeed. So they've actually sent me replacement clear parts. I'll remove that now because it's served its purpose. So we've got some replacement clear parts that have just come through both sets, and it does look. I haven't examined the both, but it certainly looks. I'll zoom in a second. Looks as though the problem has been resolved to me, and very rapidly executed too. Yeah, we don't have any repeat of that sort of issue there. So, just wanted people to be aware. Getting things fixed by manufacturers can sometimes be a bit of a nightmare, but obviously I have got contact in ICM at the very highest level, and I'm very grateful. So Managing Director of ICM has actually sent me this and said, "Sorry about that, here's a replacement for you." So thank you very much indeed, ICM. Really do appreciate that. It's there's two of them there, and that also I can tell has not got the problem, so it's been fixed. Thanks ever so much. You know, it's the old story, isn't it? As we say, you know, any manufacturer, any company, any person, anybody can make a mistake or have a quality problem they're not aware of perhaps sometimes. What is the real test of the quality of the companies, how quickly they solve the problem, and they've solved that incredibly quickly. So, and again, because bearing in mind of the great difficulties in their country that ICM are facing, that's excellent service. Thank you ever so much. That's brilliant. And I've got another one now, which is on a slightly different subject. One of the viewers and subscribers, Steve, a gentleman that lives near Vancouver in Canada, has very kindly, very generously sent me a kit, and he said he wants me to keep. And it is none other than the Matchbox original 1979 Matchbox, the Vickers Wellesley, which of course is an interwar bomber. And as you can see, is in its original cellophane wrapped, never unsealed, a little bit faded on the front. I think this has been in a shop window, a model shop window, but it's not on the back. It's like new. Look at that. But flawless it is, flawless. Again, a little bit of dishing in the box, but again, that's probably because that was actually fairly typical when they started shrink wrapping them, because obviously there's quite a bit of pressure and tension on the. It's put on the box itself, the cardboard. I've got a few that are like this actually, that's also mint, but I've got this slight dishing of the box. But what a lovely thing to send, and he sent it all the way from Canada. And yeah, I know we had another gentleman that sent me one from Australia a year ago, and that was incredible as well. So it's very kind of you indeed. So thank you very much, Steve. Really appreciate it. I'm not. There is a group build on the Flory forum, which is an interwar build, but I don't think I can justify just, you know, having got such a lovely example there. I think it's probably too good to build, really. So it's an original, and there's few and far between. Does it have the date on it, actually? Does it say? I know it's 79, but sometimes they actually say so. Yes, it does, 79 it says there, I'll show you. It's just right at the top of the writing in the corner here. So there we have it, a genuine Matchbox original, under their original ownership, Leslie ownership, when they were great. It's like a Mark II box, this, with that later sort of style, where they don't have the adverts for the products anymore. It just shows you the actual built kit in its natural 3-colour plastic, and then on the other side it shows like the real aircraft and what it would look like if you painted it up. It's a very beautiful thing, and very rare to get your hands on one in that condition, I've got to say, and it's got a price on it, as you can see, and obviously it's Canadian dollars. It's $6.50. $6.50. Well, look at that, isn't that lovely? I'm a lucky boy. So thank you to Steve, that's very much appreciated indeed. Other elements of updates, quite a few of you now have been working on the Seawolf, the missile system. One or two minor issues with this kit. Well, the first issue we've already talked about, which was about the instructions not being very clear. That was being generous to them, actually. It's very misleading. But anyway, here's the thing that's a bit weird. So the Sea Dart, which most of you have seen, I've already... again, I haven't got around to painting yet, but I've got the basic construction completed. Just zoom in for a quick nosy again. So this is the Sea Dart long range, medium to long range and high altitude anti-aircraft missile system. And it shot down several aircraft. There's Daggers, Mirages, Canberras, you name it. During the Falklands War, Argentine aircraft were shot down with these. Although I think the Argentinians did actually have the same system, but their navy went to port, so they never really got to use those in anger. Anyway, so that's the Sea Dart. Now, here's the point I was going to make in terms of a bit of an update for you. Sea Dart, that part of the kit has got none of the photo etch in it, none at all, which I thought was very odd. And yet Seawolf has got all the photo etch. And I'm going to show you something which is it's kind of hard to show you now it's completed in a way, but I'll give you a little bit of an idea. We've got another slight anomaly here in the way they go about these kits. This time it's because it is Tacom. You can see there the unpainted photo etch is obvious because it's like a brassy colour. And you can also see at the back here this photo etch at this end. There's two little bits of photo etch. Well, in both cases, this photo etch is a real challenge to get it to go on. Simple reason being, obviously the photo etch is a flat, a flattened piece of plastic. Sorry, it's photo etch. It's metal, obviously, and you have to put its end thinnest side end on. So my arm here is the missile, and you've got to put it on like that. Now that's fine if there's a hole or there's a really deep groove, but there isn't. It's a bit of a kinetic thing again, isn't it? Really, there's a lot of this type of thing on the Kinetic Sea Harrier that I complained about. It crops up again here. So you've got these little fins that you're putting on. They're actually transport hooks for raising the missile, lowering it down, so you can put it on a hook and chain, and you can manoeuvre it on board the ship, loading and unloading at docks and things like that. So it has these plates that have got holes in. But there's like there's a hint of a groove, like a channel, that bears no relation to the dimensions of the photo etch itself, I'm afraid. So I've done it. This is actually accurately done, but it was such a challenge, so difficult to actually finally get that. And I was using the non-smelly because I'm allergic to cyanoacrylate superglue. So I was using the less smelly version, and it doesn't have the instant tack, so that made it almost impossible to use, which is a shame because I do like the non-smelling element of it, and for a lot of other applications it'll be fine. But for something as impossible as this, it's like a piece of metal. You're vertically trying to stick it along its thinnest edge. It's just ridiculous, Not thought through again. Very, very like the Kinetic, and it's a classic example, I think, of when you see this kit and you look through and you notice that it's like they've thought, oh, we haven't done the photo etch, we've got to put it all on the Seawolf, Why would it all be on Seawolf and then be none on the other? It's like an afterthought, really. It's a bit strange. Anyway, there we go. I have to be honest with you. I am only going to... That's the one that's going to be poking out as it's launching. I'm not putting it on the others because they're going to be in the silo anyway. So here it is. And bear in mind, this is not painted, obviously. It's not finished or anything. But here's the other one. And this is not going to get the photo etch on it because it will be surrounded in this this silo here, the rocket silo. Here it is. Back a bit. Yeah, it's going to be sitting in there, and all you'll see is the nose of the missile. So there's absolutely no point in going through the hours and hours of pain that doing this will require, because to get these on is really difficult when there's nowhere to locate them. So there we go. That's just a tip. If you do get this kit, just be wary that there's some fairly silly photo etch, and it just comes across to me as photo etch for its own sake. Really, it really does. I mean, it didn't need to be there. That could have been moulded in plastic and would have looked kind of just as good, you know, and been much more accessible in terms of easy to build. They've made it nigh on impossible. There was some swearing going on when I built this, I can tell you. Anyway, quick update for you so you can see that we're coming along with it. And so I've basically got one silo pretty much almost done, one side. This is the central area. So it basically, I've not actually done this before, so bear with me. So it basically, is that the back or the front? Is that right? I may have got that back to front, but anyway, it basically goes in like this. And then obviously the missiles you've got 3 silos on either side, and it angles up, and the missiles poke out, and that's it really. It goes on its base over here eventually, fixes on the base there. So that is the update on the Seawolf for you, but yeah, not a bad kit at all. It's very detailed, but I've still continued to have major challenges with this tack-on plastic there. It's really challenging to use, it is. It's just because of the hardness of it. But anyway, quick update there. Nothing major to report. Just thought I'd. People do ask me, say, "Oh, how are you getting on with your build?" You know. So there you go. A few problems. So if you do get one of these, I wouldn't bother with the photo etch. I really wouldn't. One or two of the parts I kind of did. Well, you can probably see here. I'll zoom you back in. You can probably see here. There's 1 or 2 parts where they weren't so challenging to use. They went on okay. And they were sort of more logically conceived, shall we say. A little bit too close for it there. There we go. And here again at the bottom. But even that was a bit of a challenge as well, getting it to go on there. It's alright having photo etch if there's somewhere for it to actually locate into. And that's not what they've been doing in this kit. They've not been doing that very well. There's not much of a location at all. Not really too well executed or thought through, if you ask me. But there we go. Anyway, just a quick one from me on this one. But fear not, we have got some very interesting reviews coming up. We've got at least 3 new kits from ICM, all brand new tool. So we will have a look at those in the very near future. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found it a little bit interesting. Thank you again to ICM and to Steve over in Canada for your help and generosity accordingly. Really appreciate that from both of you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, ding the notification bell, subscribe, like, share and subscribe. Yeah. And I will see you again in the very near future. Thanks a lot for your time. Please look after yourselves. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.